Kasking kind of made their name with their Super Power braid. It's a 4-strand line for all poundage weights below 65 pounds. And above 65 pounds, you enter the 8-strand varieties. I typically use 15 to 30 pound braid in most of my fishing applications, and the example I have today is a 20 pound. So it's a 4-strand braid. Now this line is synonymous with a high value, affordable fishing braid. If you've never used fishing braid before and want to save some money, this is a great option to start out with. Again, it's 4-strand, so it's a little coarser than the 8-strand braids that are out there. And if you can look really close, you can kind of see the textured grain that this line has. And again, it's 4-strand braid because it's one of the lighter lines, and it's a little coarse. So this is the line that will bite your finger if you miscast. This is the line that will cut through organic matter and kelp and grass if that's the environments you're fishing in. So if you burn through a lot of line, if you are hard on your line, or if you need line that has a lot of cutting action and you don't necessarily care about having the thinnest line or the smoothest line, this is a great option, the Kasking Super Power braid. Now Kasking stepped up their game by introducing an 8-strand only line called the Kasking Mega 8. So it promises to be thinner diameter than their Super Power braid, and it is. For the 40-pound variety, it's only 0.32 millimeters. I believe for the 40-pound variety of Super Power braid, I think it's 0.35 millimeters. So you gain a little decrease in diameter, which means more line capacity for your spools. But to me, the advantage of having an 8-strand line for higher poundages is the smooth texture that gives you a little bit of a quieter fishing experience. This line passes through guides like butter. I mean, it's very smooth, it's very quiet, and that quiet fishing translates to just a nice softer feel if you're using low profile bait casters or conventional bait casters. I'm going to be doing a lot more rock fishing than bass fishing, so I'm going to be using lures in the 6 to 10 ounce range. So I'm going to be putting a lot of strain and a lot of stress on my gear, and I'm going to need line that's going to be biting hard on itself, on the guides, on the equipment, and on my hands. So I'm going to want line that is as smooth as possible. And I'll tell you what, this line is color fast. I mean, it holds its color pretty well. I've used it out in the surf, crab snaring a few times, and it really does a good job of retaining its color. I've had the cheaper Dynamas and Spectra lines from Amazon, eBay that color fade after the first use. So if you're looking for a nice, smooth, affordable line that's a step up from the entry-level value braids, and you're looking for 8-strand smooth casting lines, the Kasking Mega 8 is definitely a great option. Now if you want to take it a step further and go as high as you can go with Kasking's braided line options, definitely check out the Kasking Max Thin 8. So again, this is an 8-strand line. I have the 40-pound version to compare to their Mega 8, and you just gain lower diameter line and just an even smoother and silkier finish. This line is just awesome. I mean, every benefit I mentioned from the Mega 8 is a little amplified in the Max Thin 8. So if you're familiar with Power Pro Super Slick 8, I think that's the best comparison I can make to this line. If you're looking for a super soft, super pliable, braided option that has zero memory, zero stretch like most braids, and just a super, super quiet fishing experience, this is definitely a great option. I mean, if you compare this 40-pound diameter to their Mega 8, let me pull it up. So, they advertise it as 30% thinner than competing lines, and with my experience with all kinds of braid, that's definitely a valid claim. So again, if you're looking for a line that is super thin, super soft, super pliable, and affordable for a high-performing line. This is definitely a good option. So if you're looking for suggested applications for each type of line, I can tell you from experience that where I fish, the NorCal West Coast shorelines, there's a lot of variety and lots of species to catch. There's perch, stripers year-round, halibut when they're in season, rockfish, ling, crabs. There's just a lot of stuff, and Kasking really does have a great selection of line to fill each need. So for the super power braid, if I'm looking for just low cost but decent line to throw crab snares out into the ocean, if you've ever gone crab snaring or seen it on YouTube, it's abusive. This is a 4-ounce pyramid weight packed with bait. Sometimes I throw on another bait. This could be a pound that I throw right into the surf, and it sits on the bottom of the ocean. I drag it through sand, over rocks sometimes. So I burn through line crab snaring for the Kasking Super Power Braid because it's pretty decently performing line, great value, and definitely better than those super cheap no-name Dynama Spectra braids that you find on Amazon and eBay. This is the braid for that. If you're looking for if you're a kayak angler and you fish a lot of structure or kelp, or just areas with a lot of organic matter, and you need to get your big swim baits down deep into a lot of just organic mess, and you need line that can come up and cut through all that stuff. This is a great option. Definitely recommended if you're getting into braid for the first time and you don't want to spend a ton of money. It's definitely a high value line. If you want to step up, and if you want a smooth casting line, if you want a quieter line, if you want a line that's really comfortable to spool, I would know, because you go on those big rockfish and ling charters and you're throwing 6 ounce, 8 ounce, 10 ounce, 12 ounce, sometimes even 16 ounce depending on the current and wave height lures that just take a huge toll on your gear. And if you're using a conventional reel like I do, I use a Avid MXJ, you're definitely going to want a line that is super strong, has no stretch, because you're sending it sometimes 200 feet down, and you're going to definitely want a smooth line that you can comfortably thumb and drop down for 8 hours, 9 hours at a time. This is definitely a great option. And again, it's very color fast. It's actually a little more color fast than this braid. It holds its color really well, so if you're concerned about line fade and braid, this line holds its color really well. And if you're looking to step up and want the best that money can buy, through Kasking, try Kasking's Max Thin 8. You're going to get the benefits of the Mega 8 just in a smaller, tighter package. If you want a line that is super smooth, super thin, super quiet, and really want to maximize the line capacity of your equipment, this is definitely a line to consider. I'm going to start using this line for surf perch and striped bass in the surf when the season kicks up. I'm going to want a line that I can just huck as far as I can. I want that line to really sail and cover some water. That's definitely a line I'm going to consider. And in freshwater applications, if you're a bass angler and you're used to casting lures hundreds of times per day, this is definitely a line to consider. And if you want to pack on as much line capacity and just need a bulletproof line to pull fish out of structure and heavy cover, this is definitely a line to consider. So again, it's the best line that I think Kasking offers, so definitely a consideration if you're going the Kasking route. So if you're interested in any more information or purchasing the line shown here, check out ePoseidon.com, Amazon.com, eBay, or Kasking.com.